The face on the Shroud of Turin could not have come from Jesus' head, and it's doubtful he ever touched it, an explosive new study suggests. Marked with a faint impression of a body and face, the artifact is believed by many to be the actual fabric used to wrap Christ's corpse after his crucifixion. But its documented history only starts in the mid-14th century, and it's been a source of skepticism for almost as long, with many dismissing it as a medieval forgery. Now, a new study has found that the impression on the shroud could not have been made by a three-dimensional human body, but was perhaps from a bas-relief, a shallow carving. To reach this conclusion, Cicero Morais, author of the new study, created a virtual simulation in which a fabric was placed over a body in a bid to replicate the famous shroud. But the virtual fabric, when laid flat, showed a distorted and significantly more robust image than that on the shroud, as a result of the change from 3D to 2D. Only by repeating the process with a bas-relief instead of a body could an impression similar to that on the artifact be made, the study found. Mr. Morais, a Brazilian forensic expert and 3D illustrator, said, "The explanation of the differences is very simple. When you wrap a 3D object with a fabric, and that object leaves a pattern like blood stains, these stains generate a more robust and more deformed structure in relation to the source. So, roughly speaking, what we see as a result of printing stains from a human body would be a more swollen and distorted version of it, not an image that looks like a photocopy. A bas-relief, however, wouldn't cause the image to deform, resulting in a figure that resembles a photocopy of the body. An image of the impression left by a 3D body shows the striking difference with the shroud. The scalp and toes splay outward strangely, while large parts of the torso, groin, and neck area have not been captured at all, and the likeness in general is very broad. Meanwhile, the image of the impression left by a shallow bas-relief offers a good recreation of the image from the shroud. By way of explanation, Mr. Morais offered up the example of the mask of Agamemnon, a gold death mask meant to have been cast from the face of the ancient Mycenaean king. It seems too wide for a human face, but Mr. Morais said this was actually a normal distortion. He said, "Any careful adult can test this at home. For example, by painting your face with some pigmented liquid, using a large napkin or paper towel or even fabric and wrapping it around your face, then take the fabric out, spread it on a flat surface, and see the resulting image. This deformation is known as the Mask of Agamemnon effect, as it resembles that ancient artifact." Mr. Morais is well known for forensically rebuilding the faces of historic figures from their skulls. He doubts whether the shroud ever touched the body of Jesus. "I think the possibility of this having happened is very remote," he said.